the one that we were saying a week ago. I was on this show, John, saying, you know what, I had watched the Emporia State's last game against Angelo, and I was not convinced that they were a ranked team yet. Well, they went and marched on with that, and we're going to go ahead and kind of take a look of the video here. We're going to go ahead and see a little bit of, we're going to go to the jungle.
State's your best friend. It's real talk.
Everybody's getting ready to go here. Emporia's already. We got the Gorillas already, even the mascot. An offensive football game, back and forth here, where Pitt was able to drive, get a lot of yards in this contest. Outgains Emporia by over 100 yards, but Emporia was able to bowl their necks when they needed to. Gunnar Gundy hitting Tyler Common, and you're going to see this a few times in these highlights because he made some real big catches for the Hornets in this one. And as we kind of continue on, yeah, I'm getting messages as we were talking about before, John, and saying, hey, you know what? Every time Emporia is able to hit the gas again in this one, and there's Tyler Common again, and one of those games where a play like this, a tip ball goes the Hornets' way. I thought their defense and their ability to bowl their neck was what was really important in this contest, and you see. Gundy throws a real nice ball here as Common scores, and a real big surprise to me. I saw Pitt State beat Ferris and kind of handle them, and for them to go ahead, Emporia to come on into the jungle and win this game, I thought it was very impressive. What was your take from it, John?
My take is the line play at Emporia is to be able to hang with a team like Pitt State, and we've alluded to a couple of times, we saw them against Ferris and how good that line was, and for Emporia State to neutralize that and set themselves up in position to win this game, just really impressive. And the defense, obviously, we'll talk more about that with our guest here, but man, that's as impressive as it gets, an early season win, that's for sure.
Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and welcome in his 17th season with Emporia State, Garin Higgins. Coach, greatly appreciate you joining us. Heck, we should have had you doing the highlights. What are we doing here, Coach?
Hey, you guys did fine. You guys did great.
So I was there, Coach, just a few weeks back, seeing the big crowd for Ferris State. I bet you had a pretty big crowd and a lot of stuff to deal with there yourself.
No, it's always a tough place to play, playing at the jungle. And I will say this, we've played there 4 out of the last 5 times. So we're used to it. And I do think that helped a little bit. We're 21-6 the past 2 years and playing in the MIAA. So I've always felt like, even this year, going into this year, I felt like we had an opportunity to be a good football team, and it's still a young season, and we know that you got to be ready every Saturday, especially in the MIAA. But again, our kids just they're ready to play, and a lot of veterans on this team that have been together 4, 5, 6 years, and I think that plays a huge part.
Coach, going in, and John, I meant to ask this to Coach earlier, but Coach, the challenge I really thought you were going to have in this football game is I thought that they were going to get to the passer quite a bit, but I was really impressed, and I have been now 2 weeks in a row, with how your defense has been able to bowl their neck. You guys end up having 3 picks, you get 4 sacks in this game. Tell me a little bit about their performance.
Yeah, they played outstanding. They've been carrying us this year, and I'm glad to see that. It hasn't always been that way. I mean, we have been known for putting up a lot of points on offense, but they're carrying us right now. And another thing you need to look at in that game, besides the turnovers, is how well we did on third down. We were able to. They outgained us, but a stat that you have to look at is, their percentage on third down was not very good. Our guys were able to get off the field. And they've been getting turnovers. They all year, even going back to the first game of the year, we struggled a little bit in the first half offensively against Washburn. I think it was 6-0. And then, of course, Angelo State, that was I think both of us combined might have converted on 2 third downs the whole Saturday. So they've been playing outstanding. And, we do have a lot of depth over there on that side of the football. I think it starts with our guys in the trenches up front. They're able to get some pressure on the quarterbacks. And, we do play a 3-man front. But those guys have been doing a great job, and I think it's helping out the second level guys in the secondary.
Yeah, Coach, you kind of mentioned the trenches there, but I mean, we saw Pitt State really beat up Ferris State in that first game of the year, and that's obviously what they're known for. But what have you seen from your big guys on both sides of the ball to really neutralize them? And then Billy got a big first down there late in the game to help seal that too, running the ball.
Yeah, no question. Just speaking on our offensive line I thought they did a great job. We went into this game without our starting center. We had lost our starting center middle part of the week last week in practice. And we had to go with the redshirt freshman in the jungle. All right. And you can get a little nervous as a coach, but again, our guys just stepped up, and we were able to run the ball effectively. And talking to my offensive line coach, Coach Cash, who's also our offensive coordinator, and he said this, that since he's been here, that was the most effective run game that we've had against them. And again, I think that was one of the things that helped us get the win. And then, like you said, there at the end, we were able to ice the game. Billy Ross, another veteran that's been basically a 3-year starter for me, does everything right. Can catch the ball out of the backfield, does great in pass protection. And our guys up front were able to give him enough space there to secure the win. And if you want to go and win championships and do things that maybe you haven't done before, it starts with both sides of the trenches on both sides of the ball.
Coach, I think there's been a lot of eyes on the quarterback competition you guys had leading into the year. Gunnar Gundy, kind of comes on in. I know he's a guy that you had recruited at a high school, and you guys had maintained that relationship. Tell me a little bit about kind of getting him ready and how you think he's done so far.
Yeah, I think I would have loved to have had him during spring football.
Sure.
But we weren't able to do that. And he was at another school for about 2 weeks. And by that time it was kind of too late. So we got him in May. And then even though we got him in May, as you know, in Division II with the rules, it's not like we just were going out there and running our offensive sets and our offensive plays with him. You kind of had to depend on, our veteran guys like Tyler Coleman. We have all of our guys stay here during the summertime, and that was huge. That was big because not only was he able to get comfortable with our guys, just, throwing the ball to them and learning the offense and talking to those guys about the things that we like to do. And of course he could come in and ask us and talk to us, voluntarily. But the other part of that was just getting to know our guys. And that to me was the most important thing. And I know that we're getting a lot of attention. He gets a lot of attention. Of course, plays quarterback and his father's the head football coach at Oklahoma State. But we got a lot of good players on this offense, and we got 10 starters basically back that surround him. And but I've been very pleased with what he's been able to do up to this point. What really excites me, guys, is that he has such a big ceiling as far as like how much he can improve. He has the ability and he has talent, and he's very smart. He's a coach's son, of course. He's very cerebral in how he prepares and how he does things. But we're also breaking habits. He had been at Oklahoma State for 3 years, and we do things differently with our offensive system. We like to get the ball out quick. We're not we'll take shots when we need to take shots, but we're very efficient in our passing game. So it's been a process. But the thing that has pleased me the most with him is that he has just embraced everything. He's embraced everything about this university. You wouldn't think he comes from Oklahoma State and kind of the pedigree that he brings with him. I think we call guys that we go out and recruit OKG, our kind of guys. The guys are going to fit in here at Emporia State. And he's just one of those guys. And I think that's been one of the biggest things that, to me, that has paved the way for his success is just him being comfortable around our players.
Sure. Well, you go from one of the newest guys in the program to one of the oldest. I'm going to ask you about with Tyler Common, 6th year in the program, obviously getting that extra year, but really broke out last year with 1,200 receiving yards. Has kind of steadily seen his role grow year by year, and if it grows any more this year, I don't know what that goes to. But what have you seen from Tyler kind of playing with Braden all those years and now getting in here and getting comfortable with Gunner?
Well, I mean, Tyler's very talented, of course, talented athlete. And, he was one of our early commits back in, I can't even, it's been so long, 2019, I think. And he committed to us in December and was a 3-sport athlete, and he's a typical player that we have had success with here at Emporia State. We do recruit transfers. We don't have a lot on the team, but we do believe here that, bringing guys in and being able to develop them and cultivate them. And I know the landscape of college football with the transfer portal has changed things, but here's a player that has stuck with us. And he had 20 touchdowns last year. And as you said, 1,200 yards. I mean, statistically alone could have put his name out there and got a lot of attention. Sure. But he decided to stay with us. And that tells you what type of individual that he is. That's why he is a team captain for us. And that's why, and again, he's talented, but he also understands this offense. We don't change a lot. We've had the same coaches here, basically. And I think the core nucleus has been here with him. So he's just grown as a player. And not only that, but he's captain, and he has grown with being a vocal captain. And he's taken really Gunner under his wing and helped the progress with Gunner.
Coach, Sage Saperda was Defensive Player of the Week 1 week ago. I believe 11 stops against Angelo State. I think he had another 9 tackles, this last weekend. Tell us a little bit about kind of what he does for your defense. And you know what, Coach, so much attention is always paid to your offense and how you guys are able to score points. Shine a little bit of light on the other side of the ball, because I think there are a whole lot to do with how you guys are performing.
Listen, and I'm glad to do that. And I'm an offensive guy. All right. I'm over on the good side. Okay. And I'm glad to be able to talk about our defense, because I've been doing this a long time, as you can tell with all this gray hair I got. But you win championships with having a great defense, bottom line. And you guys know this. So it's good to see our guys over on that side of the ball step up, play the way they're playing. I'm so proud of them. And I'm proud of guys like Sage Saperda. Again, I'm going to go back to a little bit about our philosophy here and the way that we do things. Again, Sage is a player he walked on for us 5-6 years ago. And now he has stuck with us and has been patient and has developed into the type of player that he is. He cares about this university, cares about his teammates. And I know it's Division II, but I believe in that here. That's how we are successful here. All right. We have talent. Don't get me wrong. You got to have talent to win games, but I also believe you got to have players that care for one another and they take pride in playing for their university. And I know that sounds cliche-ish and all that stuff, but that's what works for us. All right. And he's a perfect example of that. And has gotten his opportunity. He got his opportunity last year. He started, I think, his first game of the year last year was against Northwest Missouri, who we beat, on the road. And he started at Mike linebacker for us and has just continued to progress.
Coach, you mentioned gray hair, but I'm going to take it a little wider here with your coaching staff this year. I mean, I'm feeling old look at them because there are a lot of guys that I watched play at Emporia State over the years. Jace as co-defensive coordinator, obviously Braden, Cade played
Yes.
obviously for you. Just a bunch of those guys. Talk about that and the culture they kind of create as former players that aren't that far removed from being the same age as some of the guys on the team.
Yeah, and I do get asked that question a lot. And then Danny Goodman, who's my special teams coordinator, he was a 2-time all-conference center for me. But again, I don't know. I just I'm a big believer in guys that understand the way that you do things, and they love this football program. And I know it's hard to keep coaches at this level, but I've been able to see these guys grow as not only players and because those guys you just talked about, they all were here for 5 years. Okay. And now they're getting ready to be fathers. Coach Goodman already is a father. So I do feel kind of like, grandpa, I guess you might say. But it's special to me. And, it's one of those things that, again, it goes back to the way that we do things here within our culture. And I got coaches here. My receivers coach is from Washburn. Our rival, Coach Chavis, and then Coach Cash Dollar. My offensive coordinator, offensive line coach is from Ashland. So I do have some other coaches. I think it's important to bring new ideas to the table. And then Coach Saporto, our defensive coordinator, he's been with me since I got here. He was a player when I first got here back in 2007. I remember I tried to run him off as a player. But he just stuck with me, and he's been here with me ever since, and has done a great job for me. And again, it makes my job easy to the extent of like they know what is expected of them. Not only is what was expected of them as players, but now as coaches, they're able to pass those things that they know about onto their players. And again, I just think it really helps us. And I'm lucky. I'm lucky to have the staff that I have here. I believe in, the longer that I've done this, and I do still stress about games and about everything. All right. From what we're wearing I still do that, but it does make it a little bit easier to have guys that just believe in what you're doing. And quality of life is important to me, and coming to work every day and being around these guys. Sometimes I do forget that they're coaches now. Okay. Sometimes I still feel like I'm coaching them every once in a while, and I might get on them a little bit. And I got to remember they're grown men and they're coaches. So, but I love coming to work every day with those guys.
Coach, one last question for you. We'll let you leave. You guys host Mo West this weekend. Then you got Northwest Missouri State the week after. Not too many off weeks per se in the MIAA.
No.
Coach, let me ask: when you throw on the film for Mo West, what do you see?
Good football team. Very well coached. I think Coach Fenwick does a great job there, and they're a talented team. They are they're setting it 2-1 right now. We went on the road there last year. We were undefeated at the time and got beat. And, we were 9-3 last year, didn't make it to the playoffs. That's 2 years in a row.
Right.
So we know what is coming here on Saturday. And we know that there's, I'm sure, talk, discussion, whatever, of us having a letdown. That's our job as coaches to make sure. And I think our veterans understand that you got to be ready every Saturday. You have to respect everybody in this league. But I think where we're at, we do not fear anybody in this league where our program's at right now. So good football team, and we know that we have to be ready to play.
Coach, I'm going to wrap it up with just one more here. But win a game at Pittsburgh State. I worked in Iola, Kansas, right in between you two.
Right.
So I know that rivalry, and even though you've got the Turnpike tussle, it means something to beat Pitt State. What's it been like kind of since that game, and both inside the program and even out in Emporia these last couple of days?
Well, as you can imagine, there's so many former players that have texted me and alums and guys I played with. You know, I played here. This is where I went to school at, and this is my alma mater. Which is great. And it's been, I think 2016 was the last time that we beat Pitt at Pitt. And, we have a great respect for their program, the tradition that program has. Ever since I've been here, guys, we've been trying to grow this program, and we have done some things here that has never been done basically in the last 12 years. It's never been done at this university. And we know that, and we play with the chip on our shoulder, guys. And you guys know this. I mean, nobody picked us to win last week. All right. I kind of gave you guys a hard time about that, but I understand.
You were right.
I get it. I get it. And we don't jump much in the polls. I get it. Okay. We just do what we do. We use it as fire, but at the same time, I think the best thing for me was, our players and our former players that, reached out, and just to see, our guys work hard here. They do. And we feel like we're a team from across the tracks a little bit. We don't have an indoor facility. We have a great fan base here, but we're not going to put, 10,000 in the stands here. I wish we would, but we're not. Maybe we will. So it feels good. I think that hard work and when guys and hard work doesn't guarantee success. It doesn't guarantee wins. I do know that, but it was good to just see this group of individuals, guys that have been here together for a long time, and have lost some very difficult games. The last 2 years that have kept us out of the playoffs. One was Missouri Western last year, and the year before that, the last game of the year at our place, Northwest Missouri. That kept us out. Our guys remember that, and the guys that have stuck with it, is good to see them get that big win on Saturday. So there's a lot of buzz around here. And here's what I've told our guys. We celebrated that victory, and we watched the film yesterday, and then we put it away. All right. And now it is earmuffs and blinders, baby. We're focusing in on this week, and that game is over. That's what we're supposed to do, is win football games, and let's move on, and let's prepare to go get a victory this Saturday.
Well, Coach, congratulations on a huge win at Pitt. Monster win against a top 5 team like that. I really appreciate you making time for us.
You bet.
And hopefully we'll catch up with you again sometime along the way, okay?
You bet, guys. Hey, I appreciate you having me on.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Well, John,